Did you just discover that as a U.S. expat, you were supposed to file U.S. tax returns or FBARs all along? If so, you're not alone. One of the most important forms in fixing past filing issues through the Streamlined Foreign Offshore Procedures is Form 14653. And honestly, this form can make or break your submission. In this video, I'll explain what Form 14653 is, what the IRS is really looking for, and the biggest mistakes expats should avoid. Form 14653 is basically your written explanation to the IRS. It's where you certify that your failure to file U.S. tax returns, report foreign income, file FBARs, or other foreign disclosures was non-willful. And that word non-willful is incredibly important. The IRS wants to know that you didn't intentionally avoid your U.S. tax obligations. Maybe you genuinely didn't know you still had to file while living abroad. Maybe you relied on incorrect tax advice, or maybe you misunderstood the rules. If your actions were due to a mistake, misunderstanding, or negligence, not intentional avoidance, you may qualify for the Streamlined program. Here's where many expats get nervous. The statement of fact. On Form 14653, you need to clearly explain your story. That includes things like where you lived and worked, what you believed about your filing obligations at the time, how your foreign accounts were opened, and what you did once you discovered the issue. The IRS is looking for a complete and honest explanation, not a dramatic one. So if you checked the wrong box on Schedule B, forgot to report a foreign corporation, or relied on a tax preparer who didn't understand expat rules, those details matter. And consistency matters too. Even small contradictions between your statement and your tax records can potentially raise questions. One mistake I see often is people writing statements that are way too vague. Saying, "I didn't know," without explaining why, usually isn't enough. Another issue is leaving out unfavorable facts because they're worried it sounds bad. But the IRS expects the full picture. A well-prepared statement explains both the good and the not-so-good details honestly and clearly. And remember, Form 14653 is only for taxpayers who qualify under the foreign streamlined procedures. If you don't meet the non-residency requirement, a different form, Form 14654, may apply instead. If you're feeling overwhelmed by Form 14653, that's completely normal. This is one of the most sensitive parts of the streamlined filing process, and careful presentation really matters. At Tax Samaritan, we help U.S. expats around the world prepare streamlined filings, FBARs, and Form 14653 statements the right way.